All right, how's it going, everyone? This is Don't Panic with Friends. I have my friend Clint, Redwolf on TikTok. I met you. When did we meet?
It's been about a year now, believe it or not.
Vinny, wow,
It's been a year.
that's crazy. Time has flown. Like, I don't know what flown means. I think I meant to say flown.
Well, yeah, it's flying because I'm already 32 and can't believe it.
I'll be 30 next year.
It's a downhill slide. You're in the final stretch already. I
Ugh,
know.
I don't want it. I don't
See,
want it.
everybody talks about that transition from 30 to 40, but no one talks about from 20 to 30.
It's not fair. No one ever told me. I already feel
you've
it in my
been
knees.
you've been busy though. You've been real busy past couple of days.
Yeah, I have. Um, the one I see it maybe get a little bit more traction. It might in the next couple of days. Is the which one was it? It was one was the Passport Bros.
Yeah.
That one's getting up there, and then I think the most recent one was a
That
woman.
woman not that she wasn't able to get a hold of her man because
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
those
that was
ones
it.
got some. I mean, I got more positive feedback than negative, but I did see the negative.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was you took that original account off of private, and now all these people are starting to see your videos again. It took a little while because you've been off private for like a few weeks.
Private on my main account for ever since June.
Yeah,
Yeah, I they tried to ban me like really quick. Um,
when are they not trying to ban you? When are they
I'm not
not?
saying anything terrible. I mean, yeah, am I an asshole? Am I brash? Yeah, but I'm not saying anything that's untrue. It's all relevant shit.
Well,
Uh,
80% of the target audience for ads and everything is one particular side. So when you criticize them, here they come.
well, what's cool here is that you don't have to say that. You can actually say who the problem is, and you won't have to worry about being banned.
It's the women's side.
Thank you.
I've had so anytime, this even came up with my therapist, which is funny to me. We talked about freaking TikTok videos. Because I'll criticize both, like, because they both do stupid shit. They
Yeah,
all do,
all
right?
of them.
The way the modern men and women treat each other is just completely abhorrent to me.
I'll say.
And
Yeah.
I'll criticize both, but guess which ones get taken down?
It's frustrating because even in my personal life, I'll have people say, "You really have negative views about women." I'm like, "Yeah, and men. I have negative views about everybody. I don't
We
think it's
got
all
negative
peachy
views
keen."
about shitty people. It's
I It's frustrating because you can't hold people accountable if they are a certain gender. You can't hold them accountable if they are in a political party. Um, it's there's so many limitations on what can be said. If I the videos that I did, if it was about a dude, one, it'd probably have more views than it already does,
oh yeah,
and it would have boosted me to superstardom.
yeah
But
it
because
would.
I said it about a woman, still got a lot of views. But it's still the negative aspect of it is no one would be defending the person if the person was a man.
Oh, no doubt. That's a given.
And they'd be on my side with it.
Whenever they do something like that, it's automatically, well, we need to have a discussion. We need to talk about it. All the same shit that you hear all the time. But when it's a guy doing it, yeah, it's instant. No, he a dog. Get out of there.
Which I believe I try not to lie ever, but I do put on a
Yeah,
character for TikTok. There are some things I will be on purpose very brash, very blunt, but I agree as well. You shouldn't automatically assume your partner's cheating, but in that scenario, in that video, that person clearly did
yes.
something wrong.
I think one guy in your comments pointed out like she's even wearing the other dude's shirt.
Which women came to say, well, why can't girls wear baggy shirts? Well, they can, but during a
They
girls'
don't.
night,
They don't.
they don't.
When do they do that? So it's like when my wife and I, when we go anywhere away from each other, we have that connection where, I mean, you got that thing in your face 24/7. Surely every now and then you're texting your person.
Yeah,
Surely. But oh no, like it's, who does that? Nobody's completely silent.
I I I pointed that out too. Someone asked me that question, and I'm like, the oh, I miss your call. It doesn't track. Um, well, what if I'm in a loud bar? Phones vibrate. They light up. There's no way you could ever miss a phone call nowadays, unless you're in, like, you can miss a phone call. Say if your phone's in another room. I've missed plenty of phone calls.
Right.
But if it's on me, if I got that thing on me, if I got it on me, I'm not gonna miss a phone call. And if I don't answer, it's on purpose.
Plus, when
So
have you ever known a young person, man or woman, I won't just say woman, when have you ever known them to not have the phone in
if they're really old,
their face? That's about it. And old people ain't doing what that girl
and
there
the
did. So,
old people got cricket, they got that cricket on them. So I mean, even them, it's rare for them not to have them. I see them with iPhones all the time.
yeah.
But what was crazy to me is that the salient point was if someone cheats on you, you have every right to ignore them. You have every right to let them feel some anxiety about what they did. Like, don't play games with them, leave them, but
Right.
let them have some of that lump in their throat. Well, that's probably a bad analogy to use. Let them feel that depressive lump in their throat for a little bit, and let them feel the guilt of what they did. Because some, like, cheaters are not emotionless. I mean, they don't care about other people's emotions, but they feel, a lot of them feel guilty afterwards. A lot of them do. And that's when you get the crying and the, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And
Right.
you did mean to.
Exactly. You knew what you did. Just admit it. But
So I know I can't remember her name because I stopped caring, but I want to care again. The lady that the last time me and her had a negative interaction, it got my backup account banned. I forgot her name. I did a podcast with her.
oh, the relationship coach who won't be named. I know her name.
Yes.
I'm not going to repeat it though because I don't want to give her any clout.
Yeah, I don't want to give her any clout either, but I wanted to get, I got your opinion on the comments, but you can only say so much.
Right.
What was your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts were, and it's funny you just brought up infidelity. I even went to bat for her
Yeah,
when she brought up her infidelity, and it was like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have, stayed around and been with someone like that. But y'all don't have to be in a relationship with her. Her and her husband worked it out, right?
that's what I said too. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, what ended up having that video got taken down, by the way. It got reported, and I couldn't win the appeal for whatever reason. I didn't say anything bad in it. I made a video where I reached out to her and I said, "Look, this guy's mind. You know his heart. You knew it enough to invite him onto your podcast, and you all had a really good discussion.
mm,
Why did you turn on him so easily?" That's basically what I said, almost verbatim. And after that, I got the slew of messages because she was a friend at the time. And when you're my friend on TikTok, you have access to my DMs.
right.
So I got the long list of different messages from her. She
Oh,
called it passive aggressive. She called it, what else? I think she even said deceptive. Like, how am I deceiving you? I'm like literally trying to bring you two back together because I really enjoyed that podcast and I was liking both your all's content, not hers anymore. Uh,
yeah,
and yeah, it turned into this big thing. She stuck around for one day as a friend and then blocked me. Just apropos of nothing. I didn't say anything else. The
mm,
video was taken down, and that was it.
That whole situation kind of blew my mind because I remember what it was. I mean, I don't have the videos anymore. I never backed them up, but it was me pretty much saying if you're a woman and if you're posting your body on Instagram, stop saying it. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for other
That was it.
people. You're doing it
That's
for
what it was.
validation.
Yeah.
And she made all these straw man arguments like I wanted it to stop. Like I didn't want these women to do this anymore. I said, no, just stop pretending you're humble. You're not doing it for you. If it was for you, it would stay on your phone. You would look at it yourself. You want validation. And I said, me and you want validation. Me and you, Clint, we're doing a podcast together because in some way, shape, or form, we're gonna want some validation on this bitch. So I
Yeah.
told her pretty much that. I was like, it's okay. I want validation. You want validation. People do things for validation. I think this is an assumption on my part. I think maybe she has an account, like a Finsta, the kids call it, a fake Instagram, where she may post her body on there. And then maybe she felt some sort of way about it, like I was attacking her. No. If you do something on the internet, it is for validation.
Because it's
Period.
for you. Why are you posting it?
That's what I said.
There you go.
And
And I guarantee that her and her husband have an OnlyFans. Like, I'm willing to put money down on that.
people who, well, I'm not, I shouldn't, well, we didn't name them by name. If you have 8 hour long sessions, that some of that has to be footy for the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Some of it has to be footy. But no, I was really shocked. I was like, I even told her like it's not that deep, and then she said it's very dismissive when you said it wasn't that deep. It's like you're invalidating. I'm not invalidating shit. I'm saying it's not that deep.
Did
It,
she seriously say invalidating?
yes,
Is that really
invalidating.
what? So she admits it's for validation.
Yeah,
She's saying you're invalidating it, but they don't want validation.
yeah. It's like the connectors. They're like this. Like, they almost get there. Yeah,
That's why it takes. Hey, that's why it takes her 8 hours. Well, it's taking that long to get things to meet. Yeah, I can see it taking 8 hours.
dude. Sometimes it happens before it even meets, and I'm just like, oh, sorry. Um,
Yeah.
but no, that just really confused the shit out of me. Like it threw me for a loop. We did have a very good conversation on her podcast. I even told her like I should hate you because my TikTok journey began when I was cheated on. And I was telling men like how to avoid this, and it was very therapeutic
Yep.
for me. So I should hate you. But if someone chooses to forgive you, like what am I supposed to say to that? That he shouldn't forgive you? That he should leave you? I mean, in my opinion, yeah. But if two people can work things out, that's none of my business. My opinion doesn't matter.
That was
If
exactly what I said. Like, what business is it mine if that worked out for you all? That's great. You
yeah,
know?
but that was unfortunate. I don't know if she
Yes, it
still
was.
is subscribed to the podcast. Um, maybe if she hears it, she'll look at it negative. Don't look at it negative. Look at
No.
it as constructive criticism.
Yeah. We're genuinely curious and upset and confused.
Oh, I would love to
That's
have
all
her
it was.
on again.
It's like you are a relationship coach. She has a license. She talks to couples. Like you can't. As soon as like all that happened, I'm like, wow, like this person should not be giving advice to anybody because you can't handle a small disagreement.
Well, I even said the same thing about men. The guys who go to the gym and show their biceps, like, dude, you're not doing it for you.
Guilty.
You want a girl to say, "Oh, I want to bite that like an apple." That's what you want. Maybe not that, but maybe you want, "Hey, good job. You look great, man. Good, like proud of you for going to the gym." That's still validation. Validation's not bad. Validation
No,
is the reason why we do what we do. When we get a paycheck, that's validation. Oh, I worked 80 hours or maybe even more and now I have money for it. That's validation.
exactly.
The
That's
world the
all it
world
is.
revolves around it. And she took it as a negative because I said it about a woman. That was the problem. Any
Yeah.
critique of a woman is no. But even in the podcast, we talked about how women sometimes will take things out of proportion or put words in your mouth like Kathy Newman. She Kathy Newman me 2 weeks after the
Yeah.
podcast.
I wonder if it's still up. I
Oh,
wonder if you could
I
get.
think it is.
Well, I see. I wondered if she was going to be that petty to go and like, get rid of it. Like I was wondering about
There were some podcasts that I took down because I was like, fuck this. I don't want the drama.
that.
Fuck that. That's another thing I'm happy I'm out of. I think you were probably aware of the crowd I was in. Um, that
Yes.
that was so hectic, and you were like, "Get away!" And I was like, "No, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying."
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm trying to tell them too. I am cautious friends with them. In other words, yeah, I'm still friends with them, but like we're not going to have the same relationship that we did. I'm not going to involve you in videos and all this stuff because it's all just too toxic. And
Mm,
the one that you definitely know for sure just had charges cleared except for one,
mm.
but continues to get down in the dirt with these people. Why? You're
It is
done.
it's an addiction to your body will still send you dopamine rushes, um, even in negative situations,
Yeah.
to kind of protect yourself, and you can get addicted to the negativity because that's the only way that you feel the dopamine rush. That's what I'm convinced of. I'm
Yeah.
convinced
Well,
it's negative
by the way,
attraction.
people, I'm not drinking. This is Kentucky's finest swamp water here.
Ooh,
L8. it's,
this
it's
is
caffeine.
this is twisted tea that I will probably regret drinking in 5 years. I'm only drinking like two of these a day now. I used to drink three tall boys a day. Before that, it was six tall boys a day. I was trying to end myself. Um, but hallelujah, I came back and
Good.
I'm only doing this. So that was a big journey right there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're coming back from it because I made a decision last year to never drink again. The reason being because I had a vehicle that I was very, very proud of, and I got drunk on Christmas off of
Oh,
black cherry margarita, and I
ooh.
threw up in said vehicle, and it smelled like black cherry starburst for about a month. And I said, nope, never again, never touching the stuff.
I I did that when I first moved here. When I first moved to the town I'm in now. I was single, um, not having really any good prospects in dating. I kept getting ghosted, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go pay for love. So I went to a local gentleman's club. I went there. I was bring your own beer. I brought like a 12 pack of twisted tea. Drank most
Oh,
of it by myself. Um, and I was like, well, you need to drive home. It's 2 a.m. It's your last day off in the morning. You need to make sure you get shit done. So I get in the car and I'm buzzed. And I'm like, okay, once you feel no tingling in your body, you start driving and you don't stop until you get home. Well, halfway home, I lived right around the corner. As soon as I was getting close to home, I felt like I'm going way too fast, but I was only going like 25 miles per hour. And I felt like your skin is like moving backwards. Like your skin's not keeping up with the speed that you're going.
G
And then
force.
it just I started seeing like this and I was like, all right. And then I pulled into my in my garage and I throw up, but instead of opening my car door, my body urged itself to the right.
uh,
I threw up all over my fucking dashboard, the radio, the passenger seat.
just cover it.
Um,
Just cover it all.
and
Yeah.
I did, and it smelled like fucking tea that was left out.
Oh.
Um, I was like, yeah, this is a problem, man.
And
I
it
was like,
hits quick
so
too. Those alcohol vomit sessions are quick. Like it's out of nowhere. It's not like when you have the stomach flu or something. It's, oh, wait a
you
minute.
feel it coming,
No, it's you're kind of dozing off, and then boom, there it is, and you just
dude.
vomit everywhere.
There
Luckily,
wasn't
I didn't drive, but
there wasn't there was no warning. Like I knew it was gonna happen, but there wasn't like this, like, oh, stage one, stage two. It fucking, dude, I goed like
Yeah.
immediately. So I was like, okay, no more strip clubs. Okay, it's a waste of money. Stop it. And two, no more drinking that much. You're not allowed to drink that
No.
much anymore. And I
My
was doing
kids don't
good.
drink and huh?
I was doing good in my life at that
Yeah.
point, but I was still like getting rejected in dating, and I was like, oh, you're a loser. Pay someone to say that you're cute. I'm like, fine, I'll do that. I don't recommend strip clubs. I really don't. I mean, maybe, no, I wouldn't even recommend it. It worked for me. It built my confidence the first 2 or 3 times that I went. But honestly, it's a waste of money.
I don't recommend them, not for the usual reasons people don't like them. I don't recommend them because they can be dangerous. Like that's where a lot of your criminal element hangs out at. That
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because of movies. Like literally, that's where they hang out at, and people can prove it to you
Yeah.
if you want them to.
They're it, it was I can't lie and say it wasn't fun. I mean, it's fun,
Right.
but just because something's fun doesn't mean it's not bad. Like it there was I got a bonus at work, and it was like a $400 to $500 bonus. I spent
You got
half
a
of it
boner at
there.
work.
Huh?
You got a boner at work.
I got a boner. Well, that's every day. But you see all those dudes working in hard hats, it does something to
Oh, that's par for the course. That's
you.
yeah.
But I spent half of my bonus there.
Uh,
I was like, dude,
no
you
good.
could have got a bunch of different video games. You could have gotten you like new clothes. You could have done so much with that money, and you wasted it. I mean, hopefully it went to, feeding some kids. But
Right.
I was like, no, you're not going back. You're
Another down payment on a vehicle that you didn't vomit in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I cleaned the shit out of that. I was like,
Yeah.
immediately as soon as I woke up the next day, I'm like, go clean up your mess, you filthy bitch,
But you're in a good
filthy
place
enemy.
now. I think I saw one video you posted where you showed her off, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you're. I'm always happy to see people, finding that person and being happy and content. It's important.
Well, I mean, she's really great, but the thing I love the most is that she challenges me. Like, I'll she'll watch my TikToks and she'll say, "What do you mean by that?" Not in a Kathy Newman way, but she'll say, it does come off as kind of like you're being really vicious where you don't need to be." And I was like, I see that because, dude, I'm a man that was hurt bad. My first
Yeah.
reaction to something like that is always going to be hit the red button, duck and cover, destroy it
Yeah.
all. Don't even try to work it out. If you see a single sign of anything, you terminate completely.
Yeah.
And
Pull the pin on the grenade, toss it in, close the door. Yeah, I get it. I
exactly.
get
But what
you.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize is that, okay, she's listening to that stuff. She's going to think I'm going to do that if she makes a little mistake. And I went, oh no, I don't want you to feel that way. That would never happen. So I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to say what I'm going to say. But I got to get better at clarifying because I do make not blatant, blanket statements where it does seem like I'm covering every single scenario possible with one
Yeah.
solution. That is a flaw that I have. That's just me, just knee jerk reaction, shoot first, ask questions later. Like I got to fix that about myself.
I need to quit commenting. I need to do more video replies and less commenting. The comments are what's getting me in trouble
Comments?
because when I type, it's like a sentence out of like an encyclopedia or something. It's just to the point. I said what I said. No emojis, no nothing, and yeah, that gets me in trouble.
Well, I mean, I'll read them and I know what you mean. I know what you
Well,
mean.
when it's something that's like upset me, I'm actually okay, yeah, whatever, and I start yeah, that's I need to quit that. I need to do more of the video responses. That way, I got a chance to. You see, when you're sitting there doing multiple takes, you start watching yourself back, and you're like, Yeah, I might want to change that. That's been a difference maker for me for sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, I used to do that. I need to go back to that. My rule was if you're going to post something on social media, record it, type it up, whatever you're going to do. Sit on it for a day. If you feel the same way about it tomorrow, post it. I don't do that anymore. I
You wouldn't
should
even
go
have to do
back.
it for a day. It just like watching it back sometimes can kind of pull you back into a better space, and then you can reshoot it with a more clear head. There's been times I've got on there and I am just straight fucking cussing, like I just you and all this. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, let's not do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too.
It's the
Yeah.
red hair.
It's the
It's always
dude,
the red hair.
it's the
Yeah.
plight of the ginger. We have to I don't know, man. I'm always open to the idea. I could be wrong. I don't want to be one of those guys that, oh, he thinks he's right. He's never wrong. He has the right. I've been proven wrong many a times, and I have ate that humble pie with no Cool Whip just by itself. It sucks, but I love when I'm wrong because then I learn something and then I can like redirect where I'm going, what I want to,
Right.
what message I want to send out there. My message is still clear. I want men to never put up with half-assed relationships, with uneven like love and affection. Um, I don't want them to remain stagnant and not live their full life to its full potential because they love somebody and they don't want to
Right.
leave them, you know?
And
Um,
I just want men and women to get along,
oh,
and
same.
that falls right into that. That's all part of it.
I'd rather
And
couples
to
stay together.
to your point, you say that you like being wrong and it lets you learn something. That's all part of getting older. That's part of growing up and maturing. And I don't know if you've noticed, because I have, because I snoop. But a lot of these people that, for example, are getting on you on your videos and leaving comments, stuff that you're responding to, you go and look at their profile. They're kids. Like,
Yeah.
and when I mean kids, I don't mean literally like under 18. I mean, to me, you're a kid if you're still like in your early 20s,
Oh, yeah.
because it takes a while to experience life and realize, yeah, I've had some shit screwed up, because I'm learning that every day. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff. That's why I went to therapy today, and why I will continue to go, because I've been wrong about a lot of stuff.
It's it catches up to you after a while. Sometimes it takes something to like make you acknowledge it.
Right.
And what made me acknowledge having to go to therapy myself was that I was literally my life was dependent, the happiness of my life for my life to continue was dependent on another person outside of me.
Yeah.
And I have since therapy, I it had some negative uh situations happen because of it, but I got to the point where if someone didn't bring me happiness at a reasonable rate, it was over. Like
Yeah.
I never broke up with anyone before I went to therapy, and when I started dating again after my divorce, I broke up with a lot of people. Um, some of it was just to prove to myself that I could, which was wrong, but there was actual disrespect and bad treatment being thrown my way, and I would end it as soon as I felt it.
Yeah.
And that was good. So I didn't execute it perfectly, but I proved to myself and showed myself, hey, if you're in a situation where you're not being treated properly, you can leave at any time. And the relationship I'm in now, I don't feel that. Like it led me to being with someone where I don't worry about cheating. I don't worry about uh getting affection or anything. Like
Yeah.
it's so peaceful. Yeah, there's arguments. Yeah, there's disagreements, but damn, I love that woman. She could yell at me all
Yeah.
she wants to. I don't care. She never
Yeah.
yells, but
It's the way I feel about mine. And you talked about how she challenges you. Well, a good woman will always challenge her man, because that's kind of the role that they play in that relationship. Most of the time, and I can already see the messages being sent. Most of the time, The man is the one making some of the big decisions, making some of the, the bigger plays, if you want to use a sports term.
Yeah.
And that woman is there to kind of temper that a little bit, kind of bring it down, kind of, all right, let's look at it this way, consider all options, and don't just barrel through. Because men, we do have a tendency to boom, just do what we want to do.
Mm.
And when you have that person there challenging you, it really makes a difference. And it opened my eyes for sure years ago when I first met her, and still together all this time.
That's the one thing I noticed immediately when she started challenging me. I was like, my ex-wife never challenged me ever. Um, when someone cares about you, they'll bring up what you're doing wrong. If they don't give a
Yeah.
shit about you, they don't care what you do. They don't care if you're doing
And,
something wrong or saying something wrong. They'd be like, I don't care. You know?
and your ex was stepping out on you. So, I mean,
Yeah. That's the moment when someone stops caring, you can feel it. You can,
right.
it's like a guttural sense. And that's the message that I send out. Like, dude, your gut may be wrong, but more often than not, it's not. We have an instinct, and we have the things that we've been through. If we feel like that's happening again, our body lets us know to protect ourselves. And you should never ignore the signs. If you've ever been cheated on and you feel like it's happening to you again, that's the universe giving you a message.
Yeah,
That is
definitely.
millions of years of evolution of your body building defense mechanisms to survive. Um, so don't ignore your gut. I mean, you could be wrong. You could be wrong. It could be a false flag, but more often than not, go with your gut.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why they call it your second brain. That's why they call it gut instinct. It's
yep.
you get that feeling, it's telling you something.
I call it my spidey sense. If I
Yeah.
feel something's not right, I'm like, Green Goblin's throwing a pumpkin bomb at me right now. I need to dodge it.
Just
Um,
hopefully yours comes a little quicker than Peter's does because his is usually like last minute. So
whoa, what's going
yeah.
on? Oh shit. Um, so what got you shit recently? Because I saw a video of you of responding to the backlash.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any of it. If I would have saw it, like I would have been like, oh, let me jump in, Gingers Unite. But like, what was the backlash you were getting?
Well, truth be told, if I'm being completely honest and admitting where I went wrong, maybe if you had seen it, you shouldn't have stepped in because yeah, I did do something wrong. Like I brought up before, leaving comments. I
Oh,
left I left a comment on a woman's video. This woman is now blocked. Now, you've
yeah.
been busy uploading. I've been busy blocking.
Oof.
And I don't want to be that guy that blocks everybody. I really don't.
You kind of
I
have to
want
be
to be the
sometimes.
yeah, I know, but we see the problem is you start being the guy that blocks everybody, or then you have no one to talk to. But I left because she was basically making a video about how men, and she was generalizing. She's saying all men, they will do sexual things to their partner that their partner isn't into or doesn't want to do, and will get off on it because all they care about is theirs, right? And I left a comment, and this is how I wrote it down, and I shouldn't have. I said, it's not all men, so keep that out of your mouth. That's what I typed. The
I mean, I would have said the
rage,
same thing.
yeah, well, the rage, because we'll see. You would have said the same thing. They probably would have said the same thing to you. Well, if you talk to us that way, I can't imagine how you talk to your wife. It got to the point where I was being accused of sexually assaulting my wife.
Oh, that's
And
not. Mm-mm. No.
no, I
Mm-mm.
can't believe those videos are still up. Like where I went off talking about, because I even say the words sexual assault. Like I don't know how I didn't say SA or nothing. I said the words. I don't know how they're still up, but they are. And it got to that point because it just cut right through me,
Yeah.
And but yeah, I went on a blocking spree. They're all gone now, and yeah, it got really bad. It was 2 full days, literally 48 hours from the moment I put that message in because it was right before I went to bed too. That's another thing. I need to quit leaving comments when I'm sleepy. I sent that, and literally, I got up that next day, and it was a just hurricane. I could not believe, because you get excited, you open up TikTok, oh, look at those notifications. Oh,
Oh shit, it's the
yeah,
negative.
yeah.
Um, I, I mean, you're you're correct in your assessment about yourself. What was not correct was their assessment of you. Um, when you say shit, because that's really what got me more followers than I ever had, was when I started talking about the all men thing, and that's what almost got me
Yeah.
banned. To say all men are into that, I can refute that right now and destroy that whole argument. I was with a woman who she liked CNC is what she called it. Consensual non-consent. Okay.
Mm.
She wanted me to assault her. And I said, no, even if it's in a pretend kind of a, like, we both know it's not really happening. We're just like, you're pretending you're Doctor Strange. I'm pretending I'm Matilda. Doesn't matter. I can't do that because I'm not into that. I'm not, it would be as close to being a rapist as actually being one. So I said, sorry if that disappoints you, but that is one scenario we'll never play out together.
That's your boundary, which women would say. A lot of them on TikTok would say that, well, yours don't matter. What about her?
Yeah, like
You know.
what if she's doing this as a therapeutic thing to take control? Well, good for her. Go to therapy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That
Here,
is
I'm gonna make a blanket statement right now,
do it.
guys. If your woman is into that, it might be time to find another one. Please do not do that, because you're playing with fire. You're putting yourself in a situation where that can be flipped around on you,
Yeah.
and now you're sitting in a jailhouse or a court in handcuffs, wondering what happened. Please don't do
Hmm.
it.
Not not only that, um, tell her to seek help because that's very unhealthy. I don't care what anyone says. Consensual non-consent is gross.
That's childhood trauma. She's had something happen to her.
That is, she detailed what she wanted me to say, what to do, what time to break into her home. She wanted me to break into her home,
No, no.
and I said
Oh my god.
no, and that's a huge red flag. I'm Part of me was like, dude, you want to satisfy people. You want to make them remember you. You're like, once you go home, like, man, that was a good show. I'm a performer. I want to satisfy people, but I was like, you're not setting yourself up. You're not going to allow this to happen.
No.
And the fact that I didn't want to because it grossed me out, that's what saved me. I
Yes.
felt this guttural, like, you want me to do what to you?
Yeah.
No.
No. Or
Um,
or any kind of, I want you to hit me. I want you to leave bruises on me. I want you to do this. Like, oh no, wait a minute. Like, none
nah.
of that. And yeah, I don't get what the appeal of that would be. And I'm going to tell on men right now, ladies, if you're listening. I'm going to tattle on us one of our secrets. I'm sure you know this already.
Do it.
We get a lot of our sexual pleasure from the partner that we're with being satisfied, knowing that
Hmm.
this D was good. How can you feel that if you feel like you're having to assault someone? Because the people that do that for real have something, they're disassociating in their head.
Hmm.
They don't understand. Well, they do understand what they're doing, but like, it's a mental problem. People that do that are sick, literally, in the head when they do it for real. So when you're pretending to do it, you have to put yourself in a mentally ill headspace to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. And my
Yeah.
thing is, what men should say to women who bring that up to them is say, if you want to fight, we'll get in the octagon. I won't do that in the bedroom. If you want your ass whooped, get inside the 6-sided ring of, or the 8-sided ring of fire, and we'll go toe
There
to
you go.
toe. Um, but no, we will not be doing that. I've always viewed bedroom intimacy as you're healing them from the stresses of the day.
Yes.
You are being as gentle as you possibly can be because maybe the day was just terrible. I don't get. I mean, I get playing rough and being rough and like I get that. That's fun. But like when you're like Chris Brown to Rihanna, that's not
Yeah.
cool. That's not fun. I
And
mm-mm.
that's one of the disconnects too between a lot of men and a lot of women. I'm not going to say all,
How dare
but
you?
that's one of the disconnects is you know, for us it is a stress relief, and for a lot of women it's a chore. So there's a disconnect there, and yeah,
Mm.
it's why would you want to rough someone up? Like that's stressful as hell.
That is stressful as hell. Men are stronger than they think, and women are more fragile than they think.
Yes.
Um, you know, that's I've had friends who are couples that were like play fight, and he would actually like hit her, like thinking he was being playful, and it left a bruise on her, and she cried. And I'm like, dude. He's like, I was playing with her. I didn't. I was like, dude, they are fragile.
Yeah.
Not that doesn't mean they're weak. It means all the calcium in your fucking bones, dude. There's weight to that shit.
Yes,
You
and
have to be gentle.
it's really cringy when I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm seeing all these self defense videos where these women are taking these classes and stuff, and I always kind of cringe a little bit. That's fine for fighting women. I always tell women, please, I'm not going to tell you to get a gun. I know
Mm,
people have political reasons and stuff like that why they don't want one. I
right.
get it. I get it. But please arm yourself. Find something that will bring somebody down. Don't like rely completely. Oh, I know martial arts, like
Do you though?
because yeah, even there was one post and it kept getting taken down where this woman was talking about her experience in a women's self defense class, and they brought in this really obese, out of shape, just completely slovenly man in to basically for them to practice on. He was able to get out of everything from everything that they did because the teacher wanted them to see that this is not going to get them out of those situations.
Hmm.
So that was a smart teacher there. That's
Very
a good
smart.
teacher. Yes. Please arm yourself. Please don't. I know that's way off topic here, what we were talking about,
No, it's I mean very on topic. Men and women. I think women should carry pepper spray. I think they should carry a knife. Um, I think women should, in a sense of deceiving somebody, go along with what they want you to do, and then once you have it in your grasp, you take that knife, and then you go, and then you throw it in the gutter.
yeah,
You know,
I
I
can see that too. But see, that's like my wife. See, I believe in gun ownership, but we don't actually have one. So criminals, but no.
yeah.
Anyway, uh,
Come on, come over.
she carries pepper spray because her job at the gym that she's at, where she's at right now, it's nighttime, is in downtown, so it's a little rough.
Mm,
I always tell her, here's the other trick too. Okay, pepper spray, that's great and lovely. You need to do something to take the person down. Don't just spray and run. Spray, oh God, they'll have the reaction. And then I told her, knee to the groin or gut, a head smash, something, knock them down.
yeah.
Then go. Yeah.
I would hopefully if they're wearing shorts, pull the shorts open and then just empty that bottle out. You don't want any residue left in there. You want to
You're all about that genital injury. You want to admit something to us on the podcast today?
there. Okay,
Are you sure?
let me admit this. I will go through fantasies if I had
Yeah.
a chomo in the house, or if I had someone who abused women that way in my house or in my shed. I have ways to keep them alive, but live long enough to suffer pain. They need to hire me for the next Saw film. I'm just saying that. They
There is
need
a
to.
new one coming, and Tobin Bell's coming back as Jigsaw.
Well, that's awesome, but they need to
Yeah.
fucking hire me on.
There you go.
They will ban that film in the United States, and they'll have to do a
uh,
petition to get it back.
is it gonna be like Serbian film? They got to block it everywhere.
No,
Worse than Serbian film.
it'll be worse than that. The
Oh,
it would I could be Jigsaw if I wanted to be. If I wanted to be a vigilante, like some cold
Yeah,
hard justice, they're on a register. Um, you can find them really easily. No, I always tell the women that I care about in my life, I'm like, don't worry about him. If he's doing something wrong to you, make him suffer. Make that
yeah.
make him never want to do that again. Make it to where he can't do it again if you have the ability to. Um,
Well, unfortunately, a lot of times that goes into they have to be dead because
yeah.
see, I'm not against the chemical castration of inmates like that. What I'm against is what they'll do is they'll take that for an early release.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of these guys, that's not what it's about. It's not about the pleasure. It's about
No.
control and power. So they're
Yep.
just going to go out and do it again, you know. And
Oh
I
yeah, they
don't agree.
will. They'll find different
Yeah,
ways to enjoy it. We will put down dogs. We'll kill dogs for biting.
yeah.
Um, I I know there's going to be a lot of incels on Reddit if they come across this podcast. They're going to be like, no, no, Kev. No. Death penalty for rapists. If it's proven, if it beyond a reasonable doubt, DNA evidence, it is proven. Because I know there's false allegations out there. But if you can do 100% proven,
Yeah.
nail gun to the forehead. Save us some tax dollars. Just,
I don't know. Some of these damn tools and supplies are getting expensive too. I don't even know if we want to spend money on
just a
that.
boot to the back of the neck. Something not quick, but something painful, and where you can get to the next guy quicker. Um,
Yes.
but that's the thing. Like, that's what pisses me off about the whole all men thing. Like, okay, if we're all like this, if we are men who want to harm women, why do I have fantasies about doing almost unrepairable harm to these men before I meet their untimely demise? I have
I
fantasies
always
about this.
tell women who believe that, I always tell them, you would be like completely fucked.
Yeah.
Like you not realize that you're talking about at least half the population. If we were all like that, and the argument they always bring up is, and this gets on my nerves because no, you're saying all men, but they'll say, well, what we really mean is, then say what you really mean.
Say what you
Don't
mean.
say don't say all men. Don't say even most. I always tell people, like, I'm sure you've seen some of my videos where
Yeah.
I'm like, social media is not real life. What people are posting on here is not real life. A majority of people are good people. What you're seeing is the sickness and the toxicity of our city.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm saying
you're,
here.
you're yeah, you're seeing the worst of it. That's one of the worst things about these little devices here is
Yeah.
they're giving us a window into the sick and depraved. But you got to remember, it's like a microscope. You're zooming in on this. It's
Mm.
not everything. Zoom out. Look at the world as a whole. You know it's not like that. You know.
Oh, for sure. TikTok is less than what 10% of the population uses TikTok.
And I
Somewhere around
think
there.
80 to 85% of that population are female, if I remember the stats correctly.
It's such a small petri dish of society. Um, mostly it's not real. Some of these things are being said because it sounds good to the ear. Like it's like a really good song that doesn't have a meaning, but it's just catchy as fuck. The saying all men is like a catchy lyric to a Taylor Swift song. It's
Ugh.
catchy, it's a very catchy thing, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I've said, what if I said it was all women? What if I said it was all women who were teachers? Because there's a lot of women teachers who molest their students. So what if I said,
And I get on men. I get on to men who do the same damn thing. Now it's
yeah,
not usually about sexual assault or rape, but I get on to them too about saying things like all women marry to, climb a social ladder, or all women are greedy and want money, all women this, all women that whiny manosphere crap that whole world that guys like Andrew Tate have created. I don't agree with any of
oh,
that stuff.
mm,
Like, no, and I know a lot of people that still like him, and even some women will offend him. But I'm like, he's creating the narrative that all women, generalizing them, do this. So as a man, you have to behave this way, and it's toxic as hell. I
it
don't agree
is.
with it.
It is.
No,
What I don't like about the whole manosphere thing, they want women with a low body count, but yet they want to have casual sex with multiple women in a month. Well, buddy,
exactly.
you're adding to the body count, man. You're
Yeah,
adding to the problem you say you hate so much. Oh, I hate forest fires. Well, you keep lighting a match in dry bush.
and
It makes no
they
sense.
get their statistics. Here's another thing too that drives me crazy about that whole group. See, ladies were criticizing, men now, but
Yeah.
they use statistics from things like dating apps. You can't do that because what you're doing is women have a way on these dating apps, like they can decide what they want to look at or whatever, and yeah, a lot of men get ignored because they're not meeting this criteria. You can't go off stats like that. It's
No.
not the majority of people. Again, you're zooming into one little thing, you're not looking at the whole picture.
Well, I met my partner on Hinge, and I used to be vehemently against dating apps. I'm like, you need to go in the real world, man. Touch grass, man. Get with your inner beast, man. Touch, man. And no, I met my girlfriend on Hinge. She's taller than me. She's prettier than me. Obviously, she's a woman. I think even the most ugliest woman is hotter than the most handsome man. There's hardly any ugly women except,
Well, I find you sexy as hell.
well, thank you. Likewise, obliged. But I am I'm 5'6". I'm a ginger. I am not physically fit where I look like I was sculpted out of marble. It's like a 3D print that went fucking wrong physically. Where they're trying to like, oh fuck, I have to redo this whole thing. It's gonna take hours, years. I'm gonna go to the gym really soon actually. I cannot wait. I'm gonna get that Chris Pratt body.
Good for
Chub
you, man.
little chunky but stubbly. There's some.
I'm always gonna, encourage people to do that. And that's another thing that gets me in trouble is I believe people should be in the gym. But go ahead with what you're saying.
No, I mean I need to be, but the thing is that uh she might be. I mean, people could make the argument that maybe she's just a different sort. Maybe she doesn't care about those kind of things. But the whole thing is like you're really setting up guys for failure if you are convincing them that every single woman wants a 6 foot guy with an 11-inch pole that makes $500 to $800,000 a year. You're making you're making them lose before they even start. They're like, well, if this is all that women want, why even bother? I'll never get to that. I can't change my height. I could maybe make a little bit more money, but what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I
Yeah,
supposed to
and
start that?
I'll get men in my comment section angry at me, but like I speak out against MGTOW, I speak out against passport bros, stuff like that. You're doing the same thing that you're accusing the women of doing, which is walking away from the table.
Yeah,
You're doing the same thing. You're walking away from the big discussion table. The nights of the round table. You're not having your discussion, saying your piece. You're just, oh, I give up. I'm not getting what I want. I'm out of here.
yeah,
And yeah, and it's like all those that criteria you brought up. Oh, they got to be over 6 foot. Most guys that I know aren't, and most women are so short that it does not matter if you're anywhere near the 6 foot mark. More than likely, you're going to be taller than her.
yeah,
Oh, well, most women want a big D. Most women want an average or smaller because they say it hurts.
yeah.
Like all these things you hear in real life, then you get on social media and it's all this like, no,
It's
it's not
all
like that
it's
at all.
all you're letting the small majority and the small like the substratus of what people want. Yeah, there are people who want to whistle when they walk away. You know what I'm talking about? They want to be a gape. But there's some that's the small majority or small minority of women that want it
Yeah,
elbow or shoulder like rotary cuff deep or whatever. There's some they're freaks. Um but God
there's
loves you.
some that want CNC.
There's some that want that. I had one that wanted to pretend they were dead.
Yeah.
No, um,
We're not doing that.
we're not doing that. But the passport bros, I remember one of our mutual listeners or followers. I had a disagreement with you about the passport bro thing.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks that I'm gonna agree with him, which love him, love his feedback. I don't agree with him, even though I made the video that I did. If men want to do that, cool, fine. There's women who will go to France and get with a guy for a one night stand, and then, oh my God, my spirit has awoken. Lotus flower rising, Venus. Cool, but let guys do that
Venus
too.
rises. Yeah.
Yeah, let guys do that too if that's what the thing is. But if men are genuinely like, I'm gonna go to Romania and get me a woman who will just be submissive to me and do what I say, you're missing what relationships are. You're not
Exactly.
supposed to be with somebody that kowtows to you and is submissive to you 100%. I think both partners should be submissive to one another. It's a give and take thing. It's a fucking dance of love.
Yes.
Okay?
I
It's
don't like the word submission either. I know what
yeah.
you're saying, but like submission has like this connotation to it that it actually really doesn't have, but it does now. So I always say just you want to rely, you want to have a reliance on that partner.
Yeah.
That's what's lost. People don't have that anymore. People are too worried about I'm independent this, independent that. When truth be told, you take the little device out of their hands, they can't do anything. But
Right.
the thing about it is, like that one guy, it wasn't the one that you were talking about. There was another one that, he's commented on a bunch of my videos before. We've had disagreements. He still follows me, but we disagree all the time. And I always say that follow people you don't agree with. I
Yep.
100% do that. Like, don't just have people that you agree with. But we've had disagreements about that before where it's like, you're running away from the problem. The problem's not going to fix. Yes, I have a very, what's the word I want to use? Lofty, like romantic idea of fixing the issues between men and women in America, but all over the world. Yeah, that's lofty, but I think it's worth the fight. And when you walk away from it, it doesn't help.
No,
You're
it
giving
doesn't.
the other side more ammunition to use against you when they come at you with their points.
Well, Jordan Peterson is someone who I really, really like. He's like, men who disagree with women about this kind of dating stuff are they can't all be wrong. They can't they have to be right in some instances. I'm like, I agree with that. I do. But the same is true in reverse.
Yeah,
If women if they can get things right, that means they can get things wrong as well. And men, they can get things right, they can get things wrong. And I think there's no singular blueprint of okay, if you have your relationship exactly like this, it's gonna work out and you're gonna die together with a bunch of grandbabies around you in your mansion. That's not gonna happen for any blueprint of the
oh
relationship. There are people who thrive in open relationships, even though I disagree with them. There's people who thrive. There's just some people who
yeah,
can't commit to one person. Cool. There are people who can't be in relationships at all. Cool. I wish you could feel what I feel and how happy I am. But if you don't want that, I'm not going to force that on you. But for the people who want monogamous relationships, even though there's not one blueprint, the one thing, if you do not have this in any of the blueprints, it will fail. Respect. You have to have some sort of respect for your partner. Once
yeah.
you lose respect for them, it's over. That's why people cheat. I mean, even I'm not condoning cheating, but if usually that if you wouldn't cheat on somebody that you respect.
Right.
And just because someone loses respect for you doesn't mean it's your fault. Maybe they just don't have their priorities in order of what they should respect. A lot of people respect money, fame, all this stuff that really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But yeah, respect is
You,
no respect is the killer of most
you need
relationships.
you need respect, you need reliance, and you need reverence.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. And that's the thing is that we're as men and women we're supposed to figure things out together. That's why we have different parts. We're supposed to come together and figure these things out and come up with solutions and navigate life with each other.
Mm.
And what they don't understand is that by pushing each other away and going into this mindset of I don't need anyone, I'm just going to get into a relationship for maybe they just want to be physically intimate. Maybe they just, oh, I want to marry up because I want to be a social climber, or whatever the stuff that modern people do these days. These kids today, I always call them. They don't understand that by doing that, they're making this gap widen. Where
Mm-hmm.
now it gets worse and worse, and we can't figure it out and come together. And that's the issue that I take with it. It just keeps getting worse.
I'm just glad I'm off the market. But just because I'm off the market, I don't want men or women to suffer. I,
Exactly.
the wanting to be in the right all the time, that's also a killer right there.
Yeah.
If you can acknowledge within yourself there is something that you're doing wrong that's making your relationships fail, you're going to meet someone eventually who's going to be a perfect match for you.
Yeah.
You can't have it your way all the time. It
No.
just can't. It wouldn't it be nice? But
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be your way all the time. You
No,
have
it's
to
not.
learn how to not get your way.
And to
And
your point, you found, your person. You found your split apart. I always call them. The old theory. Humans used to be two heads, four arms, four legs, and
yeah.
then Zeus split them in half because they were too strong. And you found you. Hopefully, you found your split apart. I believe I found mine. Is we want other people to experience that. We want them to have that.
Mm,
I want people to experience what I experienced. Do I fight? Yes. Do we have problems? Yes. It's not perfect, but I want you all to understand, like, you do not want to be that person that's in the nursing home or the retirement home or the hospital who is frail, beaten, broken, and has nobody.
mm-hmm.
Like, you need to have that person. Your friends are great, but they can't be there for you for everything. If you had kids out of wedlock, or you used to be with someone and had kids, they're going to leave the house, and then when you get to the point where you're older, they're going to stick you in one of those homes more than likely. You can't always depend on your kids to be there on your deathbed.
All right.
I hate to say it. You've got to figure this out. It's not. I've told this story before. I've been in situations where I've had to go to these homes and these hospitals or whatever. It's not pleasant.
It's not. I've
No.
been in that too. It's heartbreaking.
You can tell the difference between someone who is surrounded by family and someone who's in this dark room with one little lamp on that little nightstand they give them, that little rolly nightstand,
Mm,
and they have no one. And it's not fun to look at.
no, it's truly sad, but to quote the great Keanu Reeves, if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? You have to
Exactly.
fight for that shit, man. It's because once you fight for it and you earned it, it you can enjoy it so much more. That easy love, it's fun. Easy love is great. There's even a song by Phil Collins, "Easy Lover." That great song, love easy love, but the one that you have to like fight for is the best. Um, it is an hour and 3 minutes. We did an hour. I'm stoked that that actually happened. I have a movie that I have to go to. This is not going to be the last one. I want to do more of these, maybe with a panel, different people. Um, this was fun because we agreed with each other mostly. I think 99%. The 1% I didn't agree is you said that I was attractive, and I don't agree with you on that. But
I'll kill you.
all right, but before we do end it, I do want to tell people if you are listening to this, whether it's on rss.com or on my YouTube, his TikTok account is Redwolf92515. Please go follow him. You will enjoy him. I enjoy him very, very much.
Thank you.
Anything that you want to say to end off?
I want to do this again, and anytime you want to, if I'm available, I'm willing to do it.
Awesome. All right. Cannot wait until next time. Well, thank you guys for listening and be good to one another. And if you're not, we'll kick your ass. Have a good night.
Hey, Justin, when's this shit gonna air?
Tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.